So did you and Tupac every day after that? Since everything went smooth, did y'all ever, or it was like, nah, forget it?
We didn't. So that was like the prom was like at pretty much close to the end of the year. I think it was like either the end of May or beginning of June. Like it was really late. And I was in 12th grade at the time and I was graduating and I was off to college right after I left. So I lost touch with them. Um, but I always knew that if I saw him again, we'd pick up right where we left off. I mean, it was like we had such a good relationship, and there was not like we had a falling out or anything. We left, everything was on great terms. So I always had a feeling. I was when I heard he was famous, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder like I should just leave my name at a place he's performing and tell him I'm around and see if he wants to pop over. And I actually tried to do that one time. He was coming to play in an area that I was, and I called the venue and I was like, I know this sounds crazy, but I'm a good friend of Tupac's. I know he's coming. I'm sure the message never got to him, but I tried, and I was like, tell him he's got a place to stay if he wants to come over and hang out. But we never saw each other again after high school.
Take me through that moment when you first found out that he was famous.
So the first time that I found out he was famous was when he came out with a song, from Digital Underground, the Humpty Dance. That was, that was to me, that was huge, and oh my gosh, he really made it. That was what I thought. I was like, he's in this group and this popular song. And then, I mean, he just kept getting more famous and more famous and more famous. And I watched him, in all of his movies. I watched Juice and, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's in this movie. And then, in the next movie. And I was like, this is so great. He's doing so well. And I was just following his career. And I would tell some people about us, but I kept it pretty private back then.
What was your reaction when he was going through all the stuff he was going through with the media, with the lawsuits and everything? Like, how did you feel when you seen all that?
So I didn't believe any of the bad media that I heard about him because I knew him very well. And I knew that he was not a person that would, do something that somebody didn't want. I really felt pretty strongly about that. So, um, I when that whole rape thing was going on, that the accusations of rape, and I mean, that was not the person that I knew. So, I mean, it just wasn't it wasn't who I knew. So, it's like, I mean, I guess people can change dramatically, but usually don't change who you are at the core. And he was a really caring person. So,
Did you feel bad like saying that though? Like somebody you knew before fame and you like, oh man, all these media outlets is attacking them or whatever. Did that make you feel a type of way? Like, man, that's
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I felt bad. And I mean, I know that happens to lots of people who get famous. It happens all the time. There's always bad press for everybody, right? But yeah, I felt bad for him. I mean, he went through a lot. And, I felt bad when I heard he was shot the first time. And then he recovered. I was, oh, that's so great. I was so happy. And then hearing he was shot again and didn't recover. And I was, heartbroken. I mean, even though I hadn't seen him since high school, I still considered him a friend. And to lose a friend is awful. So it was hard.